Hello students, today we are going to discuss short questions of chapter 9, which is physical optics. You just have to pay attention for minutes and you will understand all the questions. So let's start. Under what conditions two or more sources of light behave as coherent sources? Two or more sources of light behave as coherent sources if they have same wavelength, zero phase difference or constant phase difference. How is the distance between interference fringes affected by the separation between the slits of Young's experiment? Can fringes disappear? Fringe spacing and slit separation both are related inversely proportional to each other. If we increase the slit separation, the fringe spacing decreases. And yes, fringes can disappear. If the distance between the slits is too large, then the fringe spacing becomes too small that we cannot distinguish between them, hence fringes disappear. Can visible light produces interference fringes? Explain. Yes, visible light produces interference pattern. As we know that white light or visible light is a mixture of 7 colors, so each wavelength interfere corresponding to its own wavelength, and an interference pattern is produced of its own wavelength. Hence, a colored interference pattern is observed by visible light. In Young's experiment, one of the slit is covered with blue filter and other with red filter. What would be the pattern? No interference pattern would be observed on the screen because both light sources have a different wavelengths and different phases. Hence, there will be no interference pattern on the screen. Explain whether the Young's experiment is an experiment for studying interference or diffraction effects of light. Young's experiment is an experiment for studying interference. However, interference can take place only when incoming light through the slits suffers from diffraction first. An oil film spreading over a wet footpath shows colors. Explain how does it happen. This is happened by the interference of light. When the incident ray fall on the oil film, a part of it is reflected back from the upper surface of the film and a part of it is reflected back from the bottom surface of the film. Both reflected rays are coherent and they interfere with each other, hence colorful patterns formed on the wet footpath. Could you obtain Newton rings with transmitted light? If yes, would the pattern be different from that obtained with the reflected light? Yes, Newton rings can be obtained by transmitted light, and yes, the pattern will be different. All the dark rings will be changed into bright rings, and also the central dark spot will also change into bright spot. How would you manage to get more orders of spectra using a diffraction grating? The order of spectra can be given as, we know that order of spectra will be maximum if sine theta is maximum, which is equals to 1. For a given diffraction grating, D is constant, hence smaller the wavelength will give the higher order of spectra. Why the polarized sunglasses are better than ordinary sunglasses? When sunlight reflected from smooth surfaces, it produces glare. This glare can be reduced by sunglasses. That is why sunglasses are better than the ordinary glasses. How would you distinguish between unpolarized and plane polarized light? Unpolarized and plane polarized light can be distinguished by using a polarizer. If we rotate the polarizer in front of the light and light still can be seen, then the light will be unpolarized. And if after rotating the polarizer light cannot be seen or becomes dim, then the light will be plane polarized light. So hopefully students, you have understood these questions, and if any one of you have any question, you can comment us. We will definitely reply you, and if you like my video, then share it, watch it, and subscribe my channel.